All right, so we are looking at the total cost variance for XYZ, company XYZ. All right, we've got this information here. All right, and we have to find the total cost variance. Basically, it's telling us, did we pay more or less than we expected for the units that we produced? Okay, did we pay more or less? Okay, as you can see here, it shows whether the company spent more or less than expected. All right, for the units that were produced. Okay, so total cost variance is your actual total cost. Okay, let me put the actual in front, because when you put actual in front, it means whenever you get a negative value, you did in terms of cost. If your actual cost is greater than your budgeted cost, you did bad. Let me put it like this first. These are the rules. If actual cost is greater than budgeted cost, you did bad, you did worse. Okay, for example, if you say that, okay, my actual cost should be 10,000 kwacha, my budgeted cost should be 10,000 kwacha, then you find your actual cost was 15,000 kwacha, it means you did worse, you spent more. But if your budgeted cost is 10,000 and your actual cost is, let's say, 5,000, you did better. Okay, so if budgeted is greater than actual, you did good. Okay, so if we use this formula, the standard cost minus the actual cost, meaning if you get a positive value, means your standard was high and you did better. So if you get a positive value, we did good. If you get a negative value, you did bad. Okay, so I'll leave it like this: standard minus actual. So that positive is good and negative is bad. Then if you flip the formula and say actual minus standard, then it means negative good, positive bad. Okay. So you need to this is just with logic here, okay, colleagues? It's all about just logic here. Okay. Uh-huh. So the standard cost for the actual output. Remember, they told us that actual production was 6,000 units. And remember, our standard cost per unit, it is 60 kwacha per unit. So you're going to say 60 times 60,000. 6,000 times 60, 360,000. So this is what we're expecting to incur, okay, as our total cost for the 6,000 units we are producing. This is what we expect. Okay, but in actuality, it costed us 387,650. Colleagues, remember these figures when we're tabulating the actual profit, and then we got the total costs. This is our actual total cost: 387,650. Okay. Yes. So using our formula here, total cost variance, the standard cost for our actual output minus the actual cost. Okay, you're going to get negative 27,650, meaning we did bad, adverse. Okay, we did bad. All right. As I said earlier on, if your actual is greater than your budgeted or your standard, you did worse. And in this case, our actual was greater than the standard. Okay, so we did worse by 27,650. So how we interpret that? The company spent 27,650 kwacha more than it should have spent for producing 6,000 units. Okay, yes. Then another formula I should be aware of for total cost variance. Okay, it can also be broken down to this: standard cost minus standard cost per unit minus actual cost per unit multiplied by units produced. That's in a situation where you can tabulate the actual cost per unit. Here we already got our actual total cost, so we didn't need to go extra and tabulate the cost per unit. We would have, if we wanted, we would have calculated our actual cost per unit, right? Where you just divide this total cost by the number you produce. Okay. Then you would have subtracted it by the 60 kwacha, which is our cost per unit, and multiplied it by the units produced. Okay, so this is the other formula which you might see in other books, and sometimes some questions they might give you the actual cost per unit, so you can also use this one.